Hello everyone, and welcome to this my 100th video on YouTube. I hope you enjoy it. Just wanted to say thank you very much for all the support, the likes, subscribes, the shares, the comments and all the rest of it. Really appreciate every one of them. Keep them coming. And for my 100th video I'm going to do a little unboxing, review, whatever you like to call it, on something that has got my channel up in the subscriptions and the views and everything. So I hope you enjoy this, and let's get started. So here we are with my Thomas and Friends book collection, group of books here that I've collected when I was a mere child, which was many moons ago now. And this, which I collected more recently, which is a sort of collector's item, in some ways, at least to me it is, the original Railway series, the complete collection, all 26 books that were written by and produced and published by the Reverend W. Awdry. So I'll go through that in a bit, but first of all we'll go through these Ladybird books that came out in the 80s and 90s when I was growing up. Now with each book they came an audio book on cassette tape. Yes kids, cassette tapes. This was before we had downloads and MP pods and iTune buckets, whatever you like to call it. Yeah, it had audio books which you put the cassette tape into the little recorder and you could read the book whilst listening to, with these sets of books, Ringo Starr, the original narrator, narrating the books as well. So this was the first one to come out. Percy Runs Away and Thomas and the Breakdown Train. All these books on this side are from Series 1 and Series 2 on this side. So there we go, there's the picture that accompanied the back of every one of the first series books. And there's the collection of books you could go. I won't go through all of it page by page because it will take a long time, but I will show you the inlay. So these are books these are my personal collection of books of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, as it was called then. So, you know, I was quite careful with my stuff even to this day. So they're in pretty good condition. So there we go. So we've got Percy Runs Away, and if we have a look, so it says here 1984 that these books were published. And then you just go through. So as you can see, they use screenshots from the actual TV series, and then there's some shots like this one, for example, and this one that wasn't featured in the episode. These are just obviously promo shots. That's taken from the episode and all the rest of it. So we'll just skip through rather quickly. But I loved these books when I was a kid, reading them over and over again. And of course, listening to them on cassette tape, hearing Ringo Starr narrate. So you get the idea of these books. Just flicking through randomly now, whatever page I flick to. So some really great images in there. And then next one we had up was Thomas Goes Fishing, James and the Troublesome Trucks. And again, there's the back. And if I do just a quick flick through, just to show you, give you an idea of the images and everything that we have in here. And there we go. Next one we had was Thomas and Terrance and James and the Tar Wagons. There we go, and just flick through. It's very difficult doing this with only one hand free when I've got the other hand holding the camera, but you get the idea. Really good one there. Toby and the Stout Gentleman and Thomas in Trouble. This one was given to me by a friend who was having a clear out. This was one of the books I didn't have, so it's nice to get them and have them all. So that's in pretty good nick as well. We looked after our things in the old days, you know, 20 or 30 years ago that it was, because we didn't have everything on streaming or downloading, easily accessed and stuff. So if you got these things, that was your lot. see, we get more pictures from Thomas and Bertie there. And then the other story is Down the Mine. Oh, this is not going very well. This is probably why I don't review books very often. So, yeah, and then you get images from Down the Mine and all the rest of it. And this was my personal favourite. I loved this one. This is Edward, Gordon and Henry and Gordon Off the Rails. My personal favourite book. I used to always have that. I had this one on cassette tape as well, so I had this playing a lot. Nice image, full image there of Gordon. And of course, Off the Rails, which you'll see if I can control it. There he is in the ditch. And last of all, this special one, which is Thomas's Christmas Party. And then we have a different image with the Christmas episode at the back. But what's really nice about this is it's been put together on this very nice, thick, almost card-like paper. It's very thick, the pages, and it's really nice. And what's good about this, it has a lot of detail in this story, because there's only one story in this book that's not featured in the episode of the same name. So you get a bit more detail in the story than you get in the actual episode, which I thought was interesting. No, it wasn't this one actually. No, it's the other Christmas one. Ignore what I say. This is pretty much a recreation in book form of the Thomas's Christmas Party episode. So ignore that. Now we move on to series 2, and one of my favourites as well. Had this on cassette tape. Thomas, Percy, and the Coal, Saved from Scrap. And you can see slightly different imaging there. And there's the back. And there we go. And there's some of the newer characters that were, well, at least new to series 2. And there we go. You can see that this one is probably had a lot more love than some of the other books I've got. So really nice. Next one, Thomas and Trevor, Duct Tape's Charge, which I also had on cassette tape. And as you can see, it's the same again on the inside, just different colour pattern. There we are, some of the images there. Really love these books, really good detail. Really enjoyed reading these. And these books were produced, when were they produced? Yeah, 1986, so they came out the year the series started. And then you get 3 stories in this one: Pop Goes the Diesel, Dirty Work, and A Close Shave. Really like this one as well, read this one quite a lot. Let me just flick through these again very quickly. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you who are looking at this are familiar with the classic series anyway, so you'll know the sort of images that you'll be getting in these books. Really, really nice. And then one of my favourite television episodes, Percy Takes the Plunge. Before that you get Percy and Harold also in this book, as you can see there. We'll skip along to Percy Takes the Plunge. There he is boasting to Bill and Ben, and Henry telling Percy that he's just a silly little engine, not to be afraid of water. There's the warning sign. Percy obviously ignoring the sign, and ending up, as it shows on the front, deep in trouble. Next one is a 3-story book again. Thomas Comes to Breakfast, Boko the Diesel. No, wrong again. This has been such a long time. Usually I'm up on my facts, but got it all wrong. It's the next book that has 3 stories. This has just got 2. Thomas Comes to Breakfast and Boko the Diesel. Nice, nice looking face of Thomas there. Not the most flattering image. So Thomas Comes to Breakfast. Oh dear. And then Boko the Diesel. I'm just poking him in the eye right now. So we flick through, as you can see. So there we go. And then we have, here's the 3-part story book: Daisy, Percy's Predicament, Woolly Bear. There we go. And there's Daisy, who has just recently made an appearance with her own episode in the CGI series. The first CGI episode she has had since the series went CGI. First episode she had since series 4, which is a heck of a long time. Over 20 years ago, I believe, to 1995. Yeah, over 20 years ago since her last episode. And here we go, Thomas and the Missing Christmas Tree. Now, this is the one I'm talking about. It's got a different back cover again. But what's interesting is that it has a sort of opening to the story that isn't in the TV episode. So if we have a look here, you can see there's a bit more. There's more of an introduction to the story. You see, and then. And again, this is on very thick paper. See, in this none of this takes place in the actual TV episode until we get to sort of this part. So yeah, but this is really good, and check out on YouTube. They do have the audio books of all these stories narrated by Ringo Starr on YouTube, so do check them out. And have a listen. So even if you don't have the books, you can still enjoy Ringo Starr's fantastic narration. And there we go. So that is the complete collection of Ladybird books from series 1 and 2. And now this is the special part. This is Thomas the Tank Engine, the complete collection. All the Reverend W. Awdry's books in this sort of deluxe packaging. You might recognise that the backdrop here is the background I used for my Ertl and Take and Play and Take Along slideshows of all my Thomas and Friends toys. This is the backdrop I used just because it looked pretty good. So it's got a very sturdy cardboard, thick material. I got this for about £20. And it's usually retail for about 50 at the moment, and it was down to 20 just because there's a bit of creasing, but it's not frayed. It doesn't. It's so hard, this book, that it must have taken quite a whack to dislodge that. And then it's got this sort of old book feel, very scratchy, thick material. And there we go, Thomas the Tank Engine, the complete collection, the Reverend W. Awdry, the original Railway series. And we open the book up, and straight away you get a map of the island of Sodor. Really nice pages as well, really like the design. Again, I'm not going to go through every page because we would just be here too long and it would get very boring. And then you get a foreword by the Reverend W. Awdry, and as you can see in the contents, you get all the books. And so I might just do a quick, with my right hand, just do a quick flick through. So you do get all the images, as you can see, you get all the images that appeared in the original books present here. And what I like is that if it ends halfway through a page, they don't fill up the page with, you know, the next story and stuff. They dedicate the pages purely to those stories before they move on. And as you can see, look, fine artwork. This is where it all began, Thomas the Tank Engine, book number 2. And a lot of you, as I go through the images in the books, you might recognise them. If you haven't read the Railway series, you might recognise a lot of these images from the TV series. So it's really nice, really thick book. You get all the stories, and it's a joy. And to any parents out there, if you want to get your children into the original Railway series books, you know, this collection is really good. I mean, I don't know if it's gone down in price more recently, but I think it's worth it. These are classic books, and it's become a classic franchise. It's bigger than it's probably ever been now, so it's well worth it. The 8 Famous Engines, I think that's taken from Series 4 episode, which was, I think, Thomas and the Special Letter. And there we go. It's not very detailed what I'm showing you, but at the end of the day, you get the idea. Don't want to be boring you much longer with this. So there's the twins, Donald and Douglas, when they first came to the island. And of course, because they're the books, they have much more going on. There's much more descriptive writing. There's much more detail and everything. There's Thomas Comes to Breakfast. And sadly, there still have been a number of episodes. This is the episode I was talking about, Series 4 episode called Bullseye. But, you know, can't quite remember what it might be called Bullseye, I'm not sure. It's called Bullseyes, yeah. This was the last episode to have Daisy in before the CGI series 20 episode. But unfortunately, some of the stories, like the mountain engines, which is here, this is one of my favourites, just because it has never become part of the TV series. Who knows, maybe one day with Rex, Bert and Mike being introduced, who knows, we might get Coldy and all the mountain engines as well, and we might even get adaptations of their stories one day. So yeah, this is, you can tell, you can see what you're getting here. Fantastic collection, and nice thick paper, great quality, and I would recommend this to anyone. And there he is, there is the man that created it all. Without him, we would have no Thomas and Friends, folks. So we owe it to the Reverend W. Awdry. And there we go. So we get another picture, same picture of the map there. And that is the box. Really worth it, I think. So that was my complete Thomas and Friends book collection. I'm sure I've got other Thomas and Friends books lying around somewhere, but these are the most sort of comprehensive ones. These are the ones that I grew up with as a child, along with the TV series, and this of course is where it all began. So this is an important item for the collection for me. So that's the end of my 100th video, and of course, Thomas and Friends being the most popular videos on my channel, I thought for 100th video it's only right to do an episode about that, and this is what I had left to show you. I will be getting some more Ertl sealed Thomas the Tank Engine Friends models coming very soon, only a couple, but I will show them off once they arrive. So, and of course, the Thomas and Friends Series 20, Series 19, I should say, and 20 DVDs are coming out this month and next month. There's a few episodes from Series 19 being released on DVD. Can't remember the DVD title. And then in November, nearer Christmas time, we get a Thomas and Friends Christmas DVD, which features some episodes from Series 19, as well as some all new, unseen on British TV, Series 20 episodes as well. So don't get confused, there isn't a complete Series 19 and 20 coming out, just to clarify, but there are going to be Series 19 and 20 DVDs coming out soon. I will be doing unboxing and talk about them a little bit. So I hope you like this. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share and comment. Thank you all very, very much for all your support, all your comments, all your likes, dislikes and subscribes and shares and all the rest of it. Really appreciate it. You've helped grow my channel over the last 3 to 6 months. So really very, very humbled, very pleased, very happy, and I will continue to produce content if you are desiring it. So don't forget, like, subscribe, share and comment, and I will see you folks on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.